The last topic I wanted to touch on, Christian, is kind of rapid fire. We have a spectrum of answers, and I'm interested in getting your take on some random topics. Is it real? Is it something that, yes, this is something you're paying attention to and something that you see has a place in modernization? Or is it hype? It's something you understand it, you totally understand it, but in your mind, it's not going to have the impact that it's hyped up to have. We've also thrown in a third category, which is WTF. I don't even understand this. The first one on here, AI.
Real for sure. It's seen as the solution to every problem, which is not true, but it does solve a number of problems.
Yeah, definitely. The metaverse.
My initial reaction would be WTF.
Me too.
And at the same time, I would be worried about the impact of the metaverse when we see that the impact that social networks have had, sometimes not in the most positive ways of society. But I think that there's also a potential for a lot of goods that could come out of it. But it probably needs some good oversight that we haven't seen in social networks, for example.
I'm with you on that. I had the same reaction to that one. Crypto.
So crypto, if we talk about cryptocurrencies, I think it's a complete hype. It has some value, has some interesting stuff, but I think it will die. Now, the technology under it, the blockchain technology, I think is real, has a lot of interesting problems that it can solve that have not been identified yet. For example, smart contracts, automation of very complex transactions or workflow. I think blockchain can do things in a way that other technologies cannot.
Interesting. The next one, Elon Musk.
All of the above.
Depends on the day.
The guy is brilliant, right? I mean, he has been the founder or the CEO of so many incredible companies. There's certainly a lot of hype around the guy. Let's go WTF when you hear what he says.
Yeah. I mean, he uses the hype really well. The last one I had on the list here, it's a function of where we are today, but I ask it more like beyond of where we're at today, like going forward. This idea of remote or hybrid work, what a lot of us are doing now, where's that going?
Well, I think it's very real, more so than many people think about it. I see a big debate in many companies, and actually ended up being part of 3 companies of the pandemic. You have people who clearly, and it's a real problem. It's like, how do you create a sense of community? How do you create a culture when everybody is remote and everybody is working from home? Yet, for SaaS provider, software engineers, working remotely and working during the pandemic has not necessarily affected your productivity. Sometimes it has boosted your productivity. Sometimes it allowed to be more effective at many things. I think that it advanced technologies. It allows a company to leverage talent on a more global scale. Often you were hiring people close to your work location, but you may not find all the skill set that you need. And so if everybody is used to work remotely, it's more effective. I think we will see the impact of that for years, maybe even a decade. I'm sure the pendulum will swing back the other way at some point and then swing again. But I think that this hybrid mode is here to stay for a long time.
Yeah, I agree. As much as I miss being in the office, I will say I do think I see a lot of positive in what we've been able to do in the remote model that we're working on.